Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. And we continue our Mozart survey, the endless Mozart survey. Oh my goodness, this is number 7 in our list. And we start with, well, this is interesting. Some of this stuff is going to be kind of cool. Okay, we've got Piano Concerti with Zoltán Kocsich. You know, when I talked about his Phillips recording of Concerti, what is it? It's 17, 19, and 11, I think, is one of the greatest recordings ever. And you mentioned that he did others. Well, here are 2 of them. Numbers 12 and 23 with the Franz Liszt Chamber Orchestra, Budapest, under János Rolla. And, oh, they're lovely, wonderful performances on Hungariton. So there those are. I knew I wouldn't have gotten rid of those. God forbid, no. Mozart overtures. We have a whole pile of Mozart overtures. And I got more of these. Well, at least 2 of them here. First, we have Tafelmusik and Bruno Weil, along with Eine kleine Nachtmusik on Sony, Vivarte, that series. These are very good performances with a, let's see, what have we got here? We've got Idomeneo and the Abduction from the Seraglio, and Schauspiel director, the Impresario. Marriage of Figaro, Don Giovanni, Così fan tutte, La Clemenza, and Zauberflöte, in addition to the Eine kleine Nachtmusik. I collect Mozart overture discs. I mean, they're just such wonderful works. And we've got Harnoncourt's Mozart overtures, some of them taken from the opera sets, because we've got a whole slew of orchestras. It's Harnoncourt with the Concertgebouw, the orchestra of the Zurich Opera, the Mozart Orchestra of the Zurich Opera, and Concertos Musicus Wien. So you're going to hear Harnoncourt being his Harnoncourtiest with a variety of different ensembles, which is actually interesting in and of itself. So you've got Don Giovanni, Magic Flute, the Abduction from the Seraglio, Così fan tutte, the Marriage of Figaro, Clemenza di Tito, Idomeneo, the Impresario, Lucio Silla, and La Fita Giardiniera, the Fake Lady Gardener, the comic opera with the most contorted plot you've ever heard in your entire life. It's unbelievable. Zaide, otherwise known as the Seraglio, is a Singspiel in 2 acts that Mozart never completed, but wrote quite a bit of music for. So we've got Lynn Dawson, Hans-Peter Blochwitz, Olaf Baer, Herbert Lippert, and Christopher Purves with the Academy of Ancient Music, and Paul Goodwin on Harmonia Mundi. I mean, I got this because it's a good way to get Zaida, whatever it's called. And Nathalie Dessay singing Mozart arias. Well, we now have a Nathalie Dessay box. There's a big one, actually, that I talked about before I even moved to these quarters. I remember it vividly. So here we have them, Mozart arias, all kinds of Mozart arias with the Lyon Opera under Theodor Guschelbauer. I mean, if you like Nathalie Dessay, you're going to love that. Who doesn't like Nathalie Dessay? She's marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. And music for glass harmonica, a disc you absolutely have to have on Vox, because it's got the Mozart Adagio and Rondo with Bruno Hoffmann, who is, you know, the glass harmonica-ist, to end all glass harmonica-ists. And it's music by Schultz, Naumann, Rühlig, Reichhardt, and of course the Mozart Adagio and Rondo, which is the major thing. He also wrote a smaller Adagio in C major for glass harmonica. Really, it's an incredible piece. It's for glass harmonica, flute, oboe, viola, and cello. And it's a major work. It's like 15 or 16 minutes long. And it's the greatest masterpiece ever written for the glass harmonica. The glass harmonica, by the way, was like, you know, water glasses that you play with your fingertips, and you moisten your fingertips and you squeal away for them, like we used to do it, like my friend's bar mitzvah. You know, you take the wine glass and you rub your thing around here and it would go, ee! You know, that's sort of what it was, kind of. And then we've got Anamafo singing Mozart. Wow, look at all this stuff with the Philharmonia under Alceo Galliera. Back in the days when Anamafo was a thing. This was from 1959, when she was still in superb voice. You know, she wrecked herself, her voice, and had a quick exit from the opera stage, which was a pity because she was a fine singer, a lovely singer. And here you've got major arias from Figaro, Così fan tutte, the Abduction from the Seraglio, Don Giovanni, Zauberflöte, Il Re Pastore. Wow. and some other things, as well as from the Mass in C minor and the Alleluia from Exultate Jubilate. You should do the whole thing. There's that. And for the rest of this, we have operas. Lots of operas. What do we got? Così fan tutte with Carillon, the famous Carillon mono così. Now, this has a cast which is absolutely amazing. You have Elizabeth Schwarzkopf, Nan Merriman, Rolando Panerai, Leopold Simoneau, Lisa Otto, and Sesto Bruscantini, with the Philharmonia and Carillon, and it's lightly cut, I believe. Yes, I think so. But the point about this performance that makes it such a legendary performance, it's an excellent mono sound, by the way, is its intimacy. It's conversational intimacy. These singers seem to communicate almost in a whisper for half the thing. But I mean, it's so natural. I mean, in saying that about anything with Elizabeth Schwarzkopf is amazing, because natural was not one of her qualities. But she sings wonderfully as Fiordiligi here. Carillon is in top form. It's a great, great opera performance where everything is welded into sort of an ensemble. Così is like that because, yes, there's a chorus, at some point, but it only has 6 characters, right? The two sisters, the 2 guys, and what's his name? Don Alfonso and the maid Despina. That's it. And the whole opera is just a comedy of manners between these characters, all of whom have to interact and somehow generate dramatic tension through their conversational style interactions. And they do. And it's astonishing. And this is just great. So, I mean, that's the best way I can describe it, really. And then we've got, another Idomeneo. See, in the last opera, in the last bunch, we had 2 Idomeneos. So here's another one. Here's the James Levine one with Placido Domingo, Cecilia Bartoli, Heidi Grant Murphy, Carol Van Ness, Thomas Hampson, Frank Lepardo, Bryn Terfel. I mean, these casts are just marvelous. Whether you like the whole conception of the opera or not, you just have to hear the thing. Because it's so powerful. And this is a Gluckian opera seria type thing, more or less. It's through composed, basically. I mean, yes, it has recitatives and arias. I mean, but I mean, there's orchestra throughout, and it's unbelievably long and detailed, and oh my goodness. So you get them for the singers, and you just listen to the different interpretations, and it's wonderful. Maybe there's a timing on one of these. It always fascinates me. They used to do that, but no, they don't here. It's such a wonderful opera that just never ends. I mean, you don't always want it to end, mind you, but it's got a sea monster. It's got all kinds of fun stuff. Then we've got, the Carl Böhm Don Giovanni, which also has a wonderful cast. I mean, Fisher Dieskau, Birgit Nielsen, Peter Schreier, Marty Talvola, Martina Arroyo, Ezio Flagello, Reri Grist as Zerlina, Alfredo Mariotti as Mazzetto, from 1967 with the Prague National Theatre. So it's the authentic performance because it was premiered in Prague, as we well know. For some reason, this performance doesn't get quite the acclaim that the unbelievably, illustrious list of singers would seem to warrant. Everyone has their favorite Don Giovanni's, but this is it's awfully good. I mean, who are we kidding? But one of them that does get the acclaim was this one, the Giulini one from with the Philharmonia, probably because it was recorded in the UK. And so for us English speakers, we've had, gramophone and the UK people screaming about it since the day it was issued. Granted, it deserves the acclaim. But I mean, is it really better than this one? I don't know. It's awfully great. You've got, who we got here? We have, Eberhard Vector as Don Giovanni, Joan Sutherland as Donna Anna, Giuseppe Taddei as Leporello, Gottlob Frick as the Commendatore, Elizabeth Schwarzkopf as Donna Elvira, Don Ottavio as Luigi Alva, Piero Cappuccilli as Mazzetto, and Graziella Sciuti as Zerlina. And Giulini is wonderful in this, and it's fabulous. I mean, Mozart opera recordings are just just a watershed of fabulosity. And so there they are. It's a great way to wrap this one up, I think, with one of the iconic recordings of one of the most iconic of all operas. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.